Hello, 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 divas. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy day after Memorial Day. Please put a one in the chat before I start my spiel. I missed you all. Please let me know if you can hear me. Happy Tuesday. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, my sis. Hey, Riri. My sis Teresa is in the house. My mod. Thank you so much for modding with me. She put a one in the chat and she said that she can hear me. Welcome. Hello to everybody that is coming in. Welcome to Pink Table Topics. I am your host and your good sis, Pink Diva. Thank you so much for joining me. As you're pulling your seat up to the table, please don't forget to hit the like button. Feel free to drop down and leave a comment. Engage in the topic, please, and turn your bell notifications on so that you'll be notified each and every time I drop a new topic. And as you know, our mission over here is to create a safe space for women to gather as a community, engage in healthy dialogue regarding real life issues that we as women deal with on a daily basis, but most importantly, to foster the true meaning of sisterhood. And if you are here, that means you are subscribed and representing the Diva Tribe. And we're not just any diva. We are divine, we are inspiring, we are valiant, and we are admirable. Welcome to the table, divas. And you know, if you come to my house, I have to be courteous and go around the table and do my divas roll call. How is everybody doing? I have missed y'all. I feel like I have been MIA for so long. Hold on one second. Let me get my screen situated. 1 second. Okay. I have my screen situated. How's everybody doing? I missed y'all. Oh my goodness. I feel like a lot has happened since when was I last here? Oh my goodness. Hold on 1 second. Girl, as soon as I go on live, let me see what my brother's saying about my dad. Hold on 1 second. Talking about his upcoming doctor's appointment. Second. I do apologize. 1 second. Let me respond. Okay. I'm back. Y'all, you know, people wait until you get on the phone or have something to do before they start calling. Hey, Teresa. Thanks so much for being here, modding for me, sis. I appreciate you for being here. Hey, Mama V. Hey, sis. Thanks for joining. Hey, Angela. Thanks for joining, Diva. Hey, TNT Gmon. Thanks for joining. Teresa, I hope your dad is okay. He is. He's okay. He has being hard-headed. He has a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and my brother texted me saying he's not going, and I need to call and talk to him. Girl, if it's not one thing, it's another with that little man. But how's everybody been doing? Let me see. When did I last cancel my live? I'm sorry. I know last week, I think it was my anniversary week, and I didn't go. I didn't have the live last week, I think it was. Mother's Day. I didn't do it the 13th, I don't think either. I don't even think I've done it all month. I'm so sorry. I really hope you all know that I have not been purposely just neglecting the channel, because I'm trying to grow the channel, but it just seems like when one thing happens, everything just keep going and going. And then I know I was super busy at work. It was the first of the month, then the end of the month, and then I think I had some connection issues one of the weeks, but nonetheless, I am here. I had an amazing anniversary. My husband and I really had an amazing time in Chicago for our anniversary weekend, which was week before last. Our anniversary weekend, we spent the week in Chicago. and we had an amazing time. When I say the week after that, which was last week, I felt like I was detoxing all week long because every time we went somewhere, he's like, get a drink, honey, get a drink. I was like, no, I'll get water. He was like, we're celebrating our anniversary. Have a drink. I felt like I was hungover the entire week after. I literally had to do a detox, y'all, because this man had me drinking and toasting up the entire week. The entire week. Hey, Cheryl, thanks for joining, Diva. So we were there for that week, and then last week, what happened last week? Why was I not here last week? I think I was super busy at work. It was the end of the month. Can't remember what happened last week. Something happened. I think I was busy with work, the 9 to 5 last week. But nonetheless, we are here. We are here. Teresa said, I know that's right. Listen to that man. It was Teresa, girl, he had me lit. Do you hear me? And I'm typically, when I go out with, because he tell me, he was like, if you was with your girls, you would be drinking. I say, listen, when I'm with my girls, I have a 1 drink limit. I'll have me a little margarita or a lemon drop, and that's it. I am not a heavy drinker. I like to be careful of my surroundings. I know my limit. I don't push my limit. I have me a nice little cute drink. And that's it. But he had me lit. I say, you think you slick? I say, you purposely trying to get me drunk. You got something on your mind. I knew what he was trying to do. Yes, Teresa, last week was the work overload. It was a mess. You hear me? It was so busy. So I was definitely looking forward to having a long weekend. Did everybody enjoy their Memorial Day? What y'all do for Memorial Day? Did y'all grill and cook out, have family over, visited family? What y'all do for Memorial Day? I didn't. We did yard work. My husband and I were in the yard all weekend long. We were in the yard Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yesterday was the only day that we actually got a chance to just sit down and rest. So we were in the yard all day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No, Friday, not Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Friday, y'all, I couldn't do no cat with sis because I had car issues. I was leaving, and mind you, we had just come back from our anniversary that Sunday. So I hadn't even been in my vehicle or pulled it out of the garage that whole week. So not Wednesday, Friday, I had to go to a meeting at my shop, and I ran to my shop and literally was on my way home, and I heard a loud like crash as if I had hit something. And I was sitting there like, what is this noise? And I know I hadn't seen anything in the street. So I pulled over to the side. I got out and went up under the car to look to see if I hit something, and I didn't see anything. But the crash, the sound sounded like that I had actually hit something. So I was like, well, okay, well, let me get back in. I didn't see that I hit anything. I don't know what that noise was, but I'll just have my husband to look at it when he gets home. So I got in and, jumped in to put it in drive, and it just act like it didn't want to go and drive. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, I didn't have any warnings. There were no lights coming on. It was nothing going on. It was like, it wouldn't move. I couldn't get it in drive, and I kept messing with it. And then eventually, because at this time I'm trying to get out of the street, and eventually it went in drive. I think I was able to drive at least probably about 2 feet further, and I heard this noise again. I say, what the heck is going on? And so when I got out this time to look, my left tire on the driver's side was warped. And I was sitting here like, what the heck is going on? So at this point, I'm in the street, y'all. The way the car was turned in the street, like cars were having to slow down. Listen, just me in the car by myself. I'm freaking out. So the cars were having to come around me on either side so that they could get around, because I literally was in the street. So I'm sitting there, what the heck happened? So I called my husband, had to call him because he was at work. Then I was like, let me call AAA. I had to call AAA. I had to hop back in the car real quick and put the put the hazard lights on so people could know to come around. And so I ended up calling AAA, and because it was Memorial Day weekend, it took an extremely long time for them to even get to me. They had to try to find a driver because it's Memorial Day weekend. They had a lot of accidents going on. So it took about an hour or so before they could get me. So I'm out here on the street waiting on them to get there. And I was like, shoot, let me text sis and tell her I may not be able to do no cap. I literally just had one meeting to run out to, and I was coming right back home. I was ready for our no cap show. Girl, that messed up my whole night. You hear me? So my vehicle has been in the shop since Friday. They just called my husband this morning, and come to find out, they called the control panel broke. The front, the left and right side control panel broke, which caused the axle to break. And that's what that loud noise, it was actually cracking when I heard it the first time. And then when I tried to continue moving and driving it that 2 feet further, it broke. And that's when it broke in half at that time. So, girl, $1,500 later, here I sit. They said it would be done by the end of the day today, so it'll probably be tomorrow when I can go pick it up. But girl, I was so down and depressed. I was so upset. I said, oh my gosh. I said, I don't have a vehicle. Then, of course, you know, when you don't have your vehicle, all of a sudden you got everywhere you want to be or need to be. Both my girls, they went back home to Mississippi to visit for Memorial Day. They went to a trail ride. They have it every year for Memorial Day. So they weren't here. And I was like, well, I could go to their house and get one of their keys. So if I need to go somewhere, but I really didn't have anywhere to go. It's just always when you don't have any vehicle or any transportation, you all of a sudden always want to go somewhere. So I've been inside all weekend. But I've been enjoying my hubby driving me around. And of course, he told me I could keep his car and just leave, just drop him off at work if I wanted to. But his car too big for me. I don't like driving his truck because it's too long. But nonetheless, $1,500 more. I'm here, but my car is paid for, so I would rather pay this $1,500 to get it fixed. Has a brand new motor in it and all of that good stuff. So I'd rather pay this little $1,500. I've never had any problems out of my car. And like my husband say, well, you know, it's time for things to start happening. And unfortunately, you don't get a warning sign when it's stuff like this. It just happens. So I would rather deal with that without having to have a car payment. So it is what it is. Hey, Sharon, how are you, sis? Thanks for joining. Thank you, Angela. Yes, girl. I was so distraught. I told my honey, I said, oh, I'm so distraught. I say my car, girl, I had just got her detailed. She was looking good and smelling good. I told my honey, I say, I ain't even drove her. She been sitting in the garage all weekend. She clean and smelling good. He said, yes, typical Black Negro stuff. We be looking good and smelling good and be broke. He said, look at her. She just broke. Oh, Will just broke. He was trying to make light of the situation, but I was in a horrible mood. So he decided to take me out for a drink to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. But it is what it is. Hey, my sis, I am Blessed Pecan Pam. How are you? Thanks for joining. I appreciate you for being here. Yes. Glad your father's doing well. Teresa says, she laid wreaths on the vets' graves at Arlington Cemetery in the DMV. Then it was cold and rainy here, so we stayed inside. That was definitely commendable of you all to lay wreaths, sis. We did yard work all day, so it was just my hubby and I. The girls weren't here, so we just kind of hung out. He asked me if I wanted to go by one of our mutual friends' homes, and I said, you know what? I'm not even in the mood to entertain people. Whatever we do, we'll do it around the house. I don't feel like guests, or I don't feel like getting dressed to go anywhere. So I enjoy having a nice, calm weekend at home. You know, it's never long enough when we have days off. We always could use another day off. And yesterday was the only day that I actually got a chance to rest. because we did work. I was telling sis earlier when I was texting her, I said, let me tell you, that man worked me so hard, girl. I forgot how old I was, all down on my knees trying to spread mulch and plant flowers and stuff. Girl, I was hurting all day yesterday. Girl, I was hurting all day. You hear me? I say, oh, I can tell my age. Girl, these bones ain't what they used to be. You hear me? It was a mess. But anyway, we're going to get started because I'm not going to keep you all long. We're not going to be here a long time, but thank you all for you. Those of you that are coming in. Teresa said you should have told him you need a drink and a massage. Girl, let me tell you. Girl, he had to rub me down with some girl, my hip. It was on the left side in the joint of my hip. Girl, I was limping all day. Do you hear me? And girl, I'm laying over like a little old lady. He having to rub me down with some of that little stuff. It's not icy hot. It's something else that works really, really well. He usually do the patches, but I think it's the BioFreeze patches he usually do. And then he had the roll-on type of BioFreeze, and that's what he did. Girl, let me tell you, I say, look, he said, look, we're gonna have to be caring for each other. Sharon, yes, girl, it was the hip. Girl, hip was toe up. You hear me? She said, Sharon said she did yard work all day also. Didn't want to see a grill. Girl, I didn't. I could have used a good old burnt hot dog on the grill though. But I didn't even feel like doing all of that. I really just had a plan to just get the yard work done and get flowers planted. I did some hostas, and if you've heard of monkey grass, I like those when they bloom real big. And then my honey wanted to put some planters out. For whatever reason, he wanted some orange plants. So I ended up doing some orange and some pink plants for the planters. And then I'm redoing my entryway to my front door and, sprucing that up and making it look really, really well. Yes, that's what it is, Teresa, the BioFreeze spray. Girl, I say, look, is this how it's going to be when we get old? He said, honey, this just means we're not young anymore. And that's exactly what it was. Titi. Hey, Titi. Thanks for joining. She says, hey, Pink Table Topics in chat. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Angela said, I can't wait to meet everyone in Vegas. I know. I am looking forward to Vegas too. I am so looking forward to it. It is going to be a great time. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing everyone there as well. I am looking forward to it. But thank you everyone for joining me for our girls' night game night tonight. First of all, let me just say how grateful I am to be in this space with you tonight, because I really have been missing you all. And I was like, I need my divas time, especially with everything that's happening in the world with sickness and the things that weigh so heavy on our hearts and minds. I feel like this girls' night is a much needed breath of fresh air for us. So tonight is all about us. It's about us pressing pause on the chaos and everything that's going on with us, letting go of the stress and pouring into each other with laughter, connection, and joy, and just enjoying our safe space to unwind, be a little silly, and just have a good time and just celebrate sisterhood. So that's what it's all about. That's what tonight is all about. I say I didn't want to have an agenda. However, I do have some amazing topics that I've added for upcoming segments, but I just didn't want an agenda tonight because it's just so much going on in social media, everything with this Diddy trial, just a lot of sicknesses and illnesses going on, just so much going on. So I was like, oh, what's this say? Teresa says, please share the video if you can. Our sis only needs 6 more subs to reach 1,000. Look at God. Won't he do it? Yes. Help a sister out. Share the video. Send your friends. Send your girlfriends over here. 16 more. Yes, Teresa. Send your friends and your girlfriends over so we can have a good time. So tonight, and I want you to be very interactive in the chat too, and put your answer we listen and we don't judge. It's I have a fun girlfriend game, and it's called Catch Up. Has anybody heard of the girls' night game called Catch Up? It's an amazing game. It's so fun. I hosted a girls' night at my house and we actually played this game. And it just have a lot of questions. There are a lot of question cards um in the game, and I'm just going to read the questions. I want you all to put your answer. I will have a gift for participation. So everybody just participate. Go get you something to drink, be it your water, your tea, your coffee, a nice beverage, whatever it is that you want to drink on and sip on, and let's have some fun. Let's play this game and have some fun. It's just about us unwinding. It's Tuesday night. We're coming out of a long weekend. Teresa say not the participation gift. Yeah, girl, like they do in the classroom. You get a gift for a certificate for participation. We're gonna give a gift for participation. Hey, Lisa, thanks for joining. We're gonna get a gift for participation. So how this is going to work, it's not a competitive game. I just really want everybody to put their answers in, and we're going to discuss the answers as I see them. I'm going to answer it, and we're just going to discuss the questions. So the first question is, have you been in a relationship with someone and at the same time you knew that you had no future with this person? What was the reason for staying together? Have you been in a relationship with someone? You already knew that you had, or you saw no future with yourself and this person. What was your reason for staying in the situation? Hey, Brittany Janae, thanks for joining. Have you been in a relationship with someone and at the same time knew that you had no future with the person? What was your reason for staying? Teresa says her answer is stupid. You was stupid, sis. And we can don't be capping. This ain't the no cap show, but don't be capping. Be honest. Put your answer in there. Be honest. We listen. We don't judge. So yes, I'll answer. I have been in a relationship with someone and knew I didn't have a future with the person. And my reason for staying is because it was a bet. My girlfriends had put me up to a bet because the guy was dating a girl that we didn't like. And the bet was for me to go get his number and to start talking to him. And I ended up I didn't just break it off right away. We just kept stayed in a little relationship a little bit, and I didn't break it off because it was a bet. So I've been there, done that. Angela says she's driving, so I can't play the games, but I'm listening. Okay, sis, that's okay. Be careful. That's okay. Teresa said I was definitely stupid. My dad told me about the fool and I still stayed. Yeah, I think we've all had some situations like that. Hey, Betty. Hey, sis, thanks for joining. Betty says, yep, came to my senses and moved on. At least you didn't stay on stupid, Teresa. Did I win the bet? I did. And see, here's the thing. So I'm always the funny friend. I'm the one that, I would do the whole little dare things. They always dared me to do things and I would just do it. So they told me because we didn't like the girl. She was a very mean girl and she was nasty, but I've never lacked when it came to the pulling a guy department. And I already knew I could have him if I wanted to. So it was just to get back at her. Hey, Brittany Janae. Brittany says yes, and my stupid self was looking for potential. And unfortunately, it was a trauma bond relationship. See, that happens. We get the trauma bonded, looking for potential. And we got to stop looking at the potential and start looking at who they are for real, for real. So at least did you get out of the relationship, or how long did you stay in the relationship, Brittany? Yes, Teresa, it does happen. It does happen. How long did it take you to get out of that relationship, Brittany? Lisa says, absolutely. He was a football jock and dumb as a rock. Not dumb, sis. He was cute and fine as all get out. Them be the ones. I couldn't take him around my family, but we entertained my friends because I had to dumb down around. Oh, child. Girl, I can only imagine how hard that is. And seeing those be the ones, those football jocks, they be fine and cute, but baby, they be lacking when it comes to the educational part. They be lacking in that area. How long did it take you to get out of the relationship, Lisa? Girl, that's a whole mess. That is a whole mess. Girl, the things we do for love, right? The things we do for love. So, our next question is, have you ever given someone a wrong number on purpose? If so, tell the story behind it. Lisa said it took 6 months, was all I could take. You lasted a long time, girl. 6 months is a long time, but I can only imagine. And not out here dumbing down who you are. Can't take him around family. I'm sure he was like, when I'm gonna meet the family? Brittany Janae said too damn long. Therapy has helped me out a lot. Well, good for you, sis. Glad you were able to go to therapy and get yourself out of that situation. Again, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Teresa says, and now I'm trying to make sure my granddaughters don't do the same. And that's the thing, we go through things and have had experiences in areas that, a lot of times if we had listened and not been hard headed, we probably wouldn't have found ourselves in some of the situations we were in. But, with those things come experience. We know what to look for now. We know what we won't allow or won't accept now. And we can always share those experiences with our daughters and granddaughters and pass those experiences down so that they hopefully wouldn't make those same mistakes. So it's experience. We've all been young and dumb at some point. We've not always had it all together, but when we learn better, we do better. Teresa said, yes, I gave the wrong number on purpose because I wasn't interested and he kept begging. Girl, I gave the wrong number too. I have a outside name. So especially when I know someone is going to approach me and I'm not interested, my outside name is Kennedy. That's my outside name. So Kennedy is always the name I tell them when they ask me what my name is. But I've learned that I remember years ago, one of my older cousins would always tell me when we would go places, especially like to the bars and stuff. And if you didn't want to be bothered with the guy, don't ever give eye contact. Stay looking away and don't ever accept a drink, because if he orders you a drink and you take it, he's going to feel like he can stay in your space all night. So I remembered that from years ago when she used to tell me. So I purposely don't make eye contact, and I purposely don't accept drinks when they have the bartender to send me over a drink. I don't take it. But I do know some women who do. They'll sit at the bar all day and get them free drinks. I've just not been that person. Betty says, yes, gave him number to the girl, not the police station, Betty. You sent him to the police station, sis. But you know what? They getting smart now because they know back in the day we could give them a wrong number and they're going on about their business. But now they'll tell you to call their phone with your phone. They'll say, here's my number. Call the number so I can save it. They be trying to make sure you ain't giving them the wrong number. So they done got hip to that. But I've done it before. Yes, I've given out the wrong number on purpose, and I would give my girlfriend number. I would give my girlfriend number, and she would call. She was like, you got these Negroes calling my phone for you. They wouldn't get mine. Teresa said, me too. I had an outside name too. My outside name is Angel. Ooh, girl, not Angel. I use that name so much till all my friends in the army call me Angel to this day. Girl, I use it so much to people really be thinking like, is Kennedy your middle name or something? I said, girl, I don't even know who Kennedy is. Sharon say we all did the police station. Girl, I bet the next time he saw y'all, like, you really going out like that, sis? Brittany says, I stay looking mean and unapproachable for a reason. Girl, me too. That is so me. I don't crack a smile. And they would walk up all the time and they would be like, why are you looking so mean? And half the time, it don't even be that I'm looking mean. It could be that I'm not interested in them. So I'm not distracted by what they have going on with them trying to get my attention. And a lot of times my mind be somewhere else. I don't even really be paying attention. So I probably have other stuff on my mind, but for whatever reason, they always say that I'm looking mean. I don't know if that has become like a tagline for some or pickup line or something for them, because I've known a lot of guys will say that when they approach me. Why are you looking so mean? And I'll be looking like, what I supposed to do? Because you're gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy if I'm walking around here with a smile plastered on my face all night. That's kind of weird. Teresa says we need chit chat. I would love to hear her answer. Girl, you know, sis got some stories you can only imagine. You can only imagine. Hey, sis, if you listening in, she working though. She says she'll be in the bushes. Lisa says we used to give out the wrong number to a funeral. Girl, not the funeral home, Lisa. She said now I just give them a Google number. My name is Bianca. Hey, Bianca. Oh my goodness, the funeral home. Titi says 777-9311. Listen, that was a famous one back in the day. That's definitely one that a lot of us would use. That's definitely one a lot of us would use. Yes, thanks, Teresa. Please hit the like button on your way in, sis. Divas, and if you're listening in, please hit the like button for us. Oh my goodness, 773-9311. I'll never forget that song. 777-9311. I'll never forget that song. Girl, that is too funny. That is too funny. Okay, so the next question is, and this, of course, will be everybody's opinion with this one. What is the secret behind a good relationship? What is the secret behind a good relationship? And y'all, this is a really, really good game. So if you have girlfriends and y'all get together and have girls' night, I'm going to post this, the name of this game and a photo of what it looks like on the community wall, so you can go get it. It is so fun. Me and my girlfriends, girl, got drunk and we had so much fun playing this game. It's some deep questions in there. Some of those I kind of took out and put to the side. We have to save that for Patreon. Teresa says my sister gave the name Monica to Starbucks one time, and when they called the name, she forgot she gave it. Then she argued because it took so long to make. See, and that almost happened to me one time too. Somebody was I had told the dude my name was Kennedy, and I heard over the music and all of the loud talking, I kept hearing Kennedy, Kennedy. Girl, I'm just looking around. I say, whoever Kennedy is needs to answer this man so he can shut up. Girl, I forgot I had told that boy my name was Kennedy. See, that's what we get for lying. Hey, Gia, thanks for joining, Diva. I appreciate you. Okay, Lisa's answer to what is the secret behind a good relationship? And her answer is communication, communication, communication. I totally agree, sis. Communication is definitely TNTG Mom says communication. Communication is definitely the key. One of my girlfriends, speaking of communication, one of my girlfriends, you know, she's have this like long distance friendship / relationship thing going on with someone that she rekindled from back to the day. He lives in Texas. She lives here. So they have like a long distance relationship thing going on. So a couple of weeks ago, she went and spent like 7 days with him there to just kind of see, like, you know, don't ever really know how a person is unless you're actually staying with them. But he doesn't communicate well. So when she came back and she was filling us in on how everything went, she just said she doesn't like his communication because he shuts down. or something will be bothering him, but he won't communicate what's going on. So she feel like she's constantly doing this guessing game with him, trying. So she's texting him like, "What's going on? Is it this? Was it something I said, or is it that?" And he just won't. He'll just completely shut down. He'll stay shut down for a couple of days. She can tell that something is still bothering him, but he won't address whatever it is, and she's constantly having to act like she's reading his mind per se. So I feel like, just like everyone was saying, communication is definitely key to a good relationship. That's the secret sauce for me. If we have open communication and communicating our likes and dislikes, or if a person speak to you a certain kind of way, you don't like it, open up and say that. A person won't know how you feel unless you communicate how you feel. A person won't know how you made them feel unless they communicate that. I'm not one that like to play a guessing game and trying to read your mind. I'm not a mind reader. So in order for us to stay on the same page, let's communicate about it, talk about it, and squash it and move on. Like, let's not go to bed angry. Or let's not go to bed with me wondering what's going on with you, or you laying over there knowing something's wrong, but you haven't communicated that. Because if it was something that I did to offend you, if you didn't communicate that, I won't know not to do it the next time. So communication is definitely the key. Hey, Rosemary, thanks for joining, sis. I appreciate you for being here. Yes, Teresa. Teresa says most men are terrible communicators. It is, and I feel like a lot of heartache could be omitted if they practiced actively communicating. I really, really think if we practice communicating better, I feel like we can omit a lot of the heartaches that we have to deal with and go through in a lot of these relationships that we're in. I agree. I am blessed because Pam. She said listening to understand is the key to communication. Absolutely. Listening to understand and not listening to respond. Because a lot of people are only just listening to respond and not to actually understand. So I totally agree. Totally agree. Hey, my degree is real. She says I'm in the bushes. Thank you, sis. We appreciate you for being here. So I definitely agree. Okay, y'all doing good. Next question. This is a good one. Your best friend starts dating your former boyfriend who you used to dump. You didn't really like him like that. You used to dump him a lot. Is it okay with you, or is there a girl code involved? Excuse me. Your girlfriend starts dating your former boyfriend that you used to dump back in the day. Is that okay with you, or is there a girl code involved? Should girl code be involved? You didn't really like him like that, but you used to date him. Then your best friend starts dating your former boyfriend. Do you think she broke girl code? For me, I would say, as for me and my best friends, because I know my best friend, we wouldn't even look at each other's ex in that way at all. We would never even be interested, because 9 times out of 10, us being best friends, we've already shared the ups and downs of that relationship between he and I anyway. So there definitely wouldn't even be, we wouldn't even have to worry about girl code being broken, because that's a big no-no. Gia says girl code. Teresa says girl code should be involved, even though I don't care. Brittany Janae says girl code. I definitely agree. Girl code. Okay, what about this one? This is something that just came to my mind about talking about this. What if there is a situation, or have you ever experienced a situation to where, let's say, it's you and your best friend, good girlfriend, someone that's in your close circle. She likes a guy. She has her eye on a guy, right? And this was in a book that I read. So the best friend liked this guy. She talked about this guy to her friend all the time, but she never talked to the guy. The boy never knew how she felt about him, but the guy had eyes for her best friend. The friend liked the guy liked the best friend. So the best friend got upset because he wasn't interested in her. He was interested in her best friend. And she started to feel a way about her best friend. In that situation, in that situation, do you think the best friend would be wrong to date the guy knowing that her friend liked him, but he didn't like her? There had never been any conversation between the two. They had never dated or anything like that. Do you think the best friend would be wrong to date a guy that she knew her friend had eyes for? What are your thoughts? While I answer Lisa's question, read Lisa's comment. Lisa says, "Fortunately, none of my friends have the same taste, but we wouldn't break girl code ever." Absolutely. Sharon says, "Nah, too close for comfort." TNTG Mom says, "Hell no, nah, I get it." Teresa says, "My cousin's wife passed away from cancer, and his wife wanted him to marry her best friend, and he did. Do you think that was right? We sure didn't." You know what? That happened to someone I know back home. The girl's best friend passed away. I don't remember what she passed away from. The best friend was married. The girl was, always there at the house helping fix food for the husband and the kids. And she was always very present while the friend was going through whatever illness it was. She ended up passing away. And don't you know, the girl married the friend's husband? There's no way I could have done that. And all the family looking upside her head like, "Girl, what are you doing?" But they married now, child. She actually married him. Could y'all do that? I think that was trifling, because to me, I'm looking at her like, you had eyes for that man all along. There's no way I can pass away and you married the man that I was married to and you were supposed to be my friend. That's trifling in my eyes. What y'all think? Teresa says, "Still wrong." Yep. Lisa says, "Nope, best friends should have passed." Absolutely. Because I know, as best friends, you know how we share with each other about what's going on in our relationships and all of that kind of stuff. To me, I just think that's so bogus. And I'm looking at you like you must have had eyes on him anyway. Because how did it go from you going over to that lady's house and spending time with them as a family, but then as soon as she passes away, you married a husband? I feel like some hanky panky was already going on. Brittany says, "Hell no." I know that's right. Teresa says, "Nope, I couldn't do it. No way." I couldn't either. I couldn't either. Angela says, "Nope, it's wrong." I totally agree. Brittany says, "My bestie would never." I know that's right. What kind of friends y'all got? I think that's trifling. Do y'all think that they had eyes for each other prior to? Or do you all think they were trauma bonding? Do y'all think that they bonded behind her grieving her best friend, and he was dealing with trauma behind losing his wife? Do y'all think it was a trauma bond situation? I don't care how much trauma I'm going through behind the loss of my girl. My best friend's husband could never. Could never. I would be there to support the girls, but him, absolutely not. I just would feel dirty. There's no way I would do that. There's no way. Gia says, "I had a friend pass away and her husband told someone he wanted to date me. I cussed him out for me and my deceased friend. Totally disrespectful and disgusting." I totally agree, Gia. I totally agree. Absolutely not. Sharon says, "I wish my friend would. I rise up." Sharon, not rising on the third day. Girl, I will haunt you for the rest of your life. Sharon said, "I wish she would." I know that's right. Trifling. Lisa says, "Yep, I'd always suspect how long did she wait it out and would she do it again to another friend should the situation arise?" Yeah, that's kind of trifling for me. I'll definitely be side-eyeing. Definitely. Teresa said, "I couldn't even imagine marrying my best friend's husband." I know. Ain't that disgusting? So now the kids go from calling me auntie to stepmama. How that look? That's horrible, but you know what? People do it. That just means we have morals, y'all. We just know not to cross the line. TNTG mom says that's a bold B to do that. Every time I look at him, I would see my friend face. I know that's right. I know that's right. That's a mess. Lisa says, yes, ma'am, Gia. They definitely deserve a cuss out. Girl, a whole cuss out. Girl, these Negroes be trifling. Trifling. So let's get to our next. Yeah, Brittany Sharon is cutting up, girl. Right, Titi, a hot mess. A hot mess. I am blessed pecan. Pam says no way. Teresa says now my cousin and his wife don't come around the family at all. He's mad talking about we don't accept her. Well, what does he think? What does he think? Okay, let's go on to our next question. Good job, y'all. Thank y'all for participating. Okay, this is a juicy one. According to a survey, 46% of women and 42% of men have thought about someone else during intimacy. Have you ever done that? Have you ever suspected that your partner has done the same? So during intimacy, regardless of when or how long it's been, have you ever thought of someone else while being intimate with someone else? Child, listen. We listen and we don't judge, right? I have. This was before my husband. Now, this was before my husband. But yes, I have. I am guilty of that. I'll be honest. Because it was definitely somebody I didn't want to be with and wasn't interested in. So, in order to, in my mind, for me to hurry up and get through it, I was having to envision someone else. So. Oh, I ain't by myself. Gia says guilty. All right, sis. Don't leave me hanging. Ooh, child, I thought I was the only one. Oh my goodness. Look at Titi. Titi, don't be pleading no fifth, sis. Titi says she pleads the fifth. Teresa said, I have before my husband. I was single though. It was before my husband too, sis. But still. Angela says, yes, I have when I was younger. Okay. Lisa says, absolutely, and still had to fake the big O. You know what? I am so amazed at hearing people say that they have never had to fake it. It's some people that say that they never faked it and they've always experienced. The big O is just something in a lane all its own. Everybody don't always take you there. I don't care how long you've been with a person. Everybody don't always take you to that big O. It ain't gonna happen every time. It's not. Brittany says, yep. Teresa says, just my imagination. Sharon says, I just spoke on Jesus, so I'm a chill. You pleading the fifth, Sherry. Teresa says they lying. Sometimes I fake it with my husband when I don't feel like it. Girl, let me tell you. You be like, come on. Because, girl, they'll pop up at the most inopportune times, though. We be tired. We be done went to work. We be done worked hard. And they're like little microwaves. Girl, we like an oven. You got to turn us on 450. You got to let us warm up to temperature. And you got to give us time to get the mood right. We can't just go all in all fast. You got to take some time. So, a lot of times you will find yourself like, okay, let's just do this to get it going. But I feel you, sis. Been there, done that. No judgment here. Brittany says, and did, and don't feel bad about it. Oh, y'all is bad, divas. Y'all is bad. Look at TNTG Mom talking about, to be honest, yes. Whoo, child. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad. Look, yes, Teresa, preheat us, please. Girl, we are not no microwave. You can't just go punch a button and think we gonna just get the heating up quick. Girl, we one of those old, what you call those ovens from back in the day where you got to put the wood in it and let the wood get to heating up. You can't just, we ain't microwavable, child. Look at Sharon, right. I am blessed because Pam says, yes, I have before marriage. I think we have all, the majority of us, I think we have all been there and done that at some point. It's human nature. It's human nature. Right, Lisa. Honey, heat us up. Give us some time. You can't just be having this quick love. You got to heat us up. Teresa says we have to start being preheated in the morning and hope the temperature get right by the night. Girl, it's a process. You hear me? Ooh, look at Sharon, not Sharon. Sharon talking about Michael B. Jordan get the party started. No, you ain't over there thinking about Michael B. Jordan, sis. Who was my let me see, who was my Hollywood crush? Anybody have any Hollywood crushes? I know we'll never get these people, but mine is one that people probably would never think of, but I have always had the big, hey Keisha, look at Keisha saying and do. My Hollywood crush, so Sharon, I'm assuming Michael B. Jordan is your Hollywood crush. My Hollywood crush has always been Lamont Rucker. Do you all know who Lamont Rucker is? Lamont Rucker is the guy who played the husband to the sheriff in Why Did I Get Married? To Sheila, the one Sheila ended up marrying, Jill Scott, in the movie Why Did I Get Married? Oh my goodness. And he played on Greenleaf too, if you watch that. He has always been, girl, his eyes and them dimples and that little chocolate skin of his, he has always been a crush of mine. I have always crushed on him. And he's not one of those in your face type actors or Hollywood stars. He really is like low key. But I have always really, really liked him. He has definitely been my Hollywood crush. Always have. Look at Teresa talking about Steve Urkel when he became Stefan. Teresa, if you don't leave Stefan alone. Girl, I never would have even thought about Stefan. He was cute though when Steve turned into Stefan. He was a little handsome thing. Lisa says when Idris Elba's wife called us her sister wives, it made my whole year. Girl, no, it didn't. Idris is handsome. He is handsome. I used to like Michael Ealy back in the day until some of those roles he started playing that possessive husband or boyfriend. Girl, he threw me off with them roles and I started disliking him. But I used to like Michael Ealy back in the day. Teresa says in her younger years, okay, sis. Keisha says Lorenz Tate. Okay, yep. Lorenz Tate is a cutie. I've seen him in person. He really is. And he's shorter than I thought he was too. But he is cute. He is very handsome to me. Very handsome. Gia says, I liked Morris Chestnut since he's been Ricky on Boys in the Hood. You know what? I know a lot of people that like Morris, but I've never been a big, like, I never had a big attraction to Morris Chestnut. I think he's handsome and all, but I just never have been I never had a huge crush on him. Look at TNT G-Mon talking about, yes, he is fine, Gia. He is handsome. He is handsome, but he was never a big crush of mine. Let me see if I can think of somebody else. I think Lamont kind of took it from me. I wasn't really crushing out on anybody else outside of Lamont. He just was so, I don't know what it was about him. I just liked his dimples. And I liked that he seemed to be kind of quiet. He wasn't so um in your face. He just seemed like he was one of those, he was raised in the country and he just knew how to handle a woman. So I just really like that about him. Don't be laughing, Teresa. Mm-mm. TNTG mom, we are on the same page, sis. Yes, I love me a tall man. I don't like no man that I could just look you square in the face, because at that point I feel like I can punk you. I don't need you to be face to face. I need to be able to look up. I don't like little men because I feel like those little short men have the short man complex and they be trying to push their little weight around in other areas. So I'm with you, sis. I feel you on that. Gia says my main man crush is number 44, my forever president. Girl, you know what? He got some swag. Our forever president show got some little swag about himself. He was definitely a cool dude. Teresa says a lot of women like Denzel, but he didn't do it for me. Girl, Denzel is my sister's crush. You hear me? Denzel. Oh, and another one is um Keanu Reeves. You remember Keanu? They used to play on what was that? Those movies. He had a series. Oh my God, Speed. I loved Keanu Reeves. He was one. Um, and it was another one that I really, really liked. That was handsome too. Let's be clear. Hey sis, let's be clear, says Alan Payne. Oh, yes, I remember Alan Payne. He was handsome as well. Lisa says, all I know, if Blair Underwood gets divorced again, I got first dibs and I'll fight for him. Girl, listen, Blair Underwood was handsome too. I remember him and Set It Off. He was handsome. But then I stopped liking him in the Tyler Perry movie. See, depending on their character and the role they played with these characters, girl, I started disliking them. I hold a forever grudge and I stopped liking them, depending on the character they playing. Teresa said, come on now, y'all. Y'all don't like Kirk and Kevin. Girl, we don't like Kirk. We don't like Kevin. We don't like Greg from what's the show? Married to Medicine. Gone away from us with that, Teresa. Betty says, if he's the guy that was on Green. Yes, he's the guy that was on Greenleaf, sis. He is the guy that was on Greenleaf. I like him. Hey, Lamont. Look, let me look him up real quick. Let me see what he's been doing lately. I ain't seen him in the news lately. And I haven't seen him on. Oh, look at him. He's so handsome. Oh, let me show y'all a picture. Hey, Lamont. Girl, let me show y'all him. He's so handsome. Let me put him on y'all screen real quick so y'all can see this little chocolate man that I like. Oh, hold on. Let me put him on my screen. Look at him, y'all. Hey, boo. That's Lamont Rucker, y'all. That's him, Betty. Look at him. Oh, I like him. Let me get him off my screen. I like him. That's Lamont, y'all. Lisa, let me pull up. Look, let me pull up your boo. I haven't seen him in a while. Blair Underwood. He is a nice guy, Teresa. I don't know. Blair looking kind of rough these days, Lisa. Let me see how recent this picture is. I'll pull him up, but he looking kind of rough. He looked like he been through some things. Hold on, this ad trying to play. Let me close it. Let me pull up. Let's look at Blair Underwood. Child. Look at him. I don't know. He look kind of rough. Mama V. Hey sis, you said you met Lamont or did you meet Blair? Lisa says, remember when he played the jazz club owner on Girlfriends? Yes, Lamont Rucker is sexy. Ain't he sexy? Yes, he is. He looks sexy. Something. But my sister love her some Denzel, honey. Denzel can do no wrong in her eyes. Oh my goodness. He can do no wrong. Girl, let me get off these men folks stuff. He is handsome though. Look at Teresa say, now Lisa, you can have Blair. I don't think they like Blair, Lisa. Lisa says she like her roughneck girl. Now listen, I ain't say I didn't like no roughneck now. Teresa said, nah, Lisa, you can have Blair. Okay, Mama V, it was Lamont. I like him. I like Lamont. He a little cutie. He looked like he looked like he don't come with any drama. He just looked like he's just a good old down home family man that just love taking care of home. He just has that aura about himself. But we know looks can be deceiving, but I'm not gonna taint my thoughts on Lamont. We're gonna let him be the nice guy that he is. Teresa said, I think Grady is a handsome old man. Grady who, Teresa? Which Grady? You say he too old for you, sis? Which Grady is you talking about? Fred Sanford, girl. Gone away from here, Teresa. Girl, I ain't never even looked. To me, looking at Grady, I just think of old drunk. I ain't never looked at Grady like that, Teresa. Right, Lisa. Lisa said, oh, Lord, not Fred. That's why I was asking her, Grady who? Teresa, you went way back, sis. I ain't never looked at Grady in that manner. Right, Keisha? Look at Teresa. You have to clean them up. That's our problem. We always getting these fixer uppers and always got to clean them up. And then when we clean them up, now they going on to the next woman like they doing something. After we done spent all that time cleaning up. See? We ain't cleaning up nobody. TNTG mom says, I bet Kirk and Kevin wear toddler shoes with their dwarf looking. Exactly. You know they wear dwarf shoes. Listen, girl, I don't need nobody that I got to put a step stool at the bed and jump up on top of the bed because I have a high bed. So Kirk would have to step on a step stool just to even get up on the bed with his little. Sharon say, may as well bring Ike back, girl. Get Ike away from here. You hear this? You hear me? Teresa talking about her stop with her girl gone away from here. Girl, that's a mess. Y'all is funny. That is too much. Right, Teresa. No, Sharon, not Ike, honey. Leave Ike where his tail at. Because we was sick of Ike. Leave him where he was at. Lisa, not he smelling like Geritol and being gay. Whoo, child. Y'all is too much. Okay, let's move on to our next question. That is hilarious. Okay, the next question is, if a partner wants to sign a prenup when getting married, would it be a natural step for you, or would you be offended? Let's say, I think we just talked about this on Sis channel. What's that football player dude's name? I forgot his name. But if your partner, let's say, had money, and initially when you all are together before getting into marriage, and he mentions signing a prenup, would you be okay with that, or would you be offended? Yes, Travis Hunter. Thanks, sis. Would you be offended, or would you be okay with it? We listen and we don't judge. Would you be offended, or would you be okay with it? Let's Be Clear says she'd be okay with it. I would be okay with it too, because I would look at it as if, what if I was the one coming into the relationship with the money? Would I want him to be okay with signing, or would I want to protect my assets? So if it was me, I wouldn't be offended with it. What I would feel like a prenup, because a lot of people, I think, misconstrue what the meaning of a prenup. The prenup is used to protect the both of us. It's protecting you and what you had before we got together, and it's protecting me and what I had before we got together. And whatever we build together during the marriage, then those are the assets that would have to be split if we were to go through a divorce. But you can't touch nothing that I had before we got together. Because look at the likes of a Martell or a Ralph, and you know how they are, just a lot of men in general, period, are getting to the point of wanting the assets of the woman after they have divorced, the Negroes that ain't got nothing. So I would definitely go in with a prenup and be okay with it either way. Teresa says you should be okay, especially since you know you broke as a doorknob. Girl, right. Keisha says she'll be okay. Jill said I'd make sure I'm compensated. Absolutely. And that's the thing. When you're doing a prenup, you're both actually sitting down and you're writing out, you know, your needs and your wants while you're going through the process. And then you all have both of your attorneys look at it and sit down and mediate with and come to an agreement as to what it is. So if you go in and negotiate your prenup, you can want a percentage of something, or you know, we can agree to do this, or I'll put a clause in if he's caught cheating, or if you know any outside babies or anything. You can be as descriptive as you want with your prenup to make sure that you are protected after the breakup. So I would be okay with it because I'm protecting me. I would definitely be okay. Mama V says she would be okay with it. TNTG Mom says it depends on assets that I bring to the table. What does it depend on? So if you're bringing assets to the table, would you be okay with him signing a prenup or not signing a prenup, sis? Sharon said that she'll be okay with it. Hey, Bridget J. Thanks for joining, sis. She said I would be okay with a prenup. Okay. Lisa says, I will not marry again without a prenup. I'm not splitting my retirement savings with anyone at this point. I know that's right. I know that's right. Teresa says you have to be grown-ups about it. Most folks who have a problem don't understand prenups or the meaning of that one. I totally agree. I am blessed pecan. Pam says she's okay with it. I totally agree, sis. A lot of people don't understand the meaning of the prenup. It's not basically saying a lot of people feel like, you know, you're looking at me as if I want your money or something like that. That has nothing to do with it, because we know how things can turn going through a divorce. Like, we can start off as friends, we can start off being cool, loving each other and all of that. But baby, when there's some money involved, or when we going through that breakup and emotions are in it, a lot of people, because they are emotional, will keep you back and forth, going back and forth to court and trying to get you to pay them this, that, or the other. Or a lot of these men these days will halfway work and think you ought to pay them alimony because you make more money and all of that kind of stuff. So the prenup is basically to protect yourself as well. So when you're writing it out, that's the opportunity for you to make sure you include the clauses that benefit you as well. Angela Richardson said he is a cheater. Pink. Who is a cheater, Angela? Now, Angela, don't you come over here starting nothing. Who is a cheater? Don't be talking about Lamont no cheater, because I ain't heard that. See, you always trying to knock my dreams. Who is a cheater, Angela? TNTG mom said, yes, I would agree. Right, Teresa, look at it. She just coming trying to rain on my parade. I ain't never heard nothing about Lamont. Then here she go. It's always one. Hey, Reen, thanks for joining, sis. I'm waiting on Angela to tell me who she talking about is a cheater. Is you talking about Grady? Grady was the cheater. Oh, Lord Jesus. Gia says Nicole Murphy had a really good prenup, $1 million for each child. That's why she didn't mind having 5 kids for Eddie. I know that's right. Look at Sharon say, I know it ain't Michael, girl, because who's she talking about? Right, Teresa. She just slid that in, and we trying to find out who she's talking about. It's got to be Grady. Because it's hard for me to believe that Lamont is out here for the streets. Lamont is not for the streets. And Sharon said it ain't Michael. So who she talking? It's got to be Grady. Unless y'all talking about Stefan. Is Stefan a cheater? We're going to act like we didn't see that, Angela. Don't bring us no mess. Gone away from us with that. Well, yeah, she could be talking about Blair. Blair looked like he cheat. Teresa say Stefan ain't no cheater either. Girl, she got to be talking about Blair. Blair or Grady. Because I know she ain't talking about Stefan. I mean, I know she ain't talking about Lamont. Not my Lamont. Lisa said Lamont was even going to make Jackie Reed a baby mama, but that was before he got married. He was so nice. So don't do Lamont. Don't even tell me he married. I ain't even know he was married, child. Who he married to? Now you gonna have me looking up who he married to. Oh, he probably can do better. Come on over here, Lamont. Look at Lisa. Oh no, not my Blair. Girl, she got to be. It's either Blair or Grady, because I know it ain't Lamont. Who, child? Don't do that. Okay, let's see what we got next. While we waiting on Angela. Look at Angela gonna drop it in the chat. Then she gonna keep it moving. Right, Teresa? He could have done a whole lot better, child. I don't know. How come he didn't come over here and find me? How long he been married? I ain't even know. Girl. Whoo. The next question. What has been the biggest age difference between you and a partner that you have dated? What has been the biggest age difference between you and someone you dated? And did you feel the age difference? Were you older or younger? And did you feel it? What has been the biggest age difference between you and someone that you dated? And did you feel the age gap? Did you feel like you were older or feel like you were younger based off of the relationship, the vibe of the relationship, the things you did, or what you have to say? That reminds me of how Stella got a groove back when she was dating Winston. And she had to teach Winston some things. Lisa says, forget unbig my back, unbreak my heart. Not my black girl. She done broke your heart. Teresa says 4 years, and no, I didn't feel it. And he was older. Okay. It was 4 years for me as far as the oldest. My ex-husband was 4 years older than me. And I didn't feel it either. I felt like I was older than him. Child. I didn't feel the difference either. Yes, she did, honey. Stella did get hooked on Winston. Look, Winston blew that back out, as he said. She sure did. Keisha says 10 years. I was older and I was putting it on him. I had to let him. Girl, you had to let him go. Look at Lisa over there tearing that little 10 years tenderoni up. Keisha said she was putting it on him, honey. She had to let him go. Teresa said, same here. I felt older. Bridget J says, I dated 8 years younger than myself. I didn't like it. Okay. What didn't you like about it, sis? What did you not like about dating an 8-year younger person? TNT says he was 7 years older. Okay. Gia says my husband is 5 years older. Okay. My current husband is only 2 years older than me. Right, Teresa. Keisha being fast. Talking about she was putting it on. Just tearing that little young buck up over there. Lisa says 12 years and we had to hide from his sister, who was my friend and my other friend. See that you knew you was doing something wrong if you had to hide. See, was he 12 years older than you or 12 years younger than you, Lisa? Right, Sharon. Sharon said, oop, Keisha, right. Got us over here clenching our purse, Keisha. She says, if you're in the bushes, please hit the like button. Yes, thank you. Teresa say, I was. Keisha says, I was. Okay, you were 12 years younger, 12 years older than him. How was that? How was that? 12, did you have to teach him some things or did he know what he was doing or how was that? Lisa says he was so sweet and kept me laughing. He was younger. Oh, okay. Teresa says, you know you was wrong tiptoeing around. Right. Hey, Cece. Happy Tuesday, sis. Thanks for joining. Right, Teresa. He was a little tenderoni, child. He was a little tenderoni. 4 years. I don't think I've dated any. Have I dated anyone younger than me? If it was about like a year or two. It wasn't like a huge gap. Wasn't a huge gap. Bridget says, y'all can have them, young boys. He had young children and my kids was grown. Nothing in common. Ooh, child. See? We ain't doing that with them young babies. Bridget say, child, my kids is grown. We're not about to start over raising no kids. We ain't starting over with no kids. Okay, Bridget said it lasted 4 months. All right. She said it lasted 4 months, y'all. 4 months. It's a long little time. Look at Keisha laughing. Look at Teresa. Teresa say, Bridget, you said it lasted 4 months, girl. What y'all was doing over there for 4 months? Yeah, I was over there doing something for 4 months. Lisa said, I told him he was too young. He said, teach me, and I did. I was 40 and he was 28. We meet at Fat Tuesdays, and it was on, girl, not Fat Tuesdays. Look at Lisa over there hanging that little 28 years hot and dry. He said, teach me some things. Right, Teresa, rude child. Bridget say we did it a couple times. I had to make sure. Girl, was he at least working with something though, Bridget? Was he worth the 4 month time frame that you gave him, sis? Lisa says, I know I was wrong and didn't even want to be right. Right, Sharon, all on Fat Tuesday. Whoo, child. Oh my gosh. She said, now, baby, go home. Girl, his mama probably would have been mad at you. He would have been. Sharon, I do know that there are some restaurants called Fat Tuesday. Is that what you're talking about? Was it Fat Tuesday, the restaurant, Lisa, or Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday? Y'all is bad. Y'all is bad. Right, Teresa. Go on home now. Go on now. Oh, the restaurant and the bar. It's the restaurant and the bar, Sharon. Ooh, child. Mm. Look at Angela. Here go Angela coming back over here disrupting again, talking about, yep, your man in Greenleaf. Which one, Angela? I don't think so, Angela. I am not gonna believe that. I am not going to allow you to come over here spreading this negativity about my boo Lamont Rucker, because I ain't never heard that. And we're not gonna do this tonight, sis. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing. Can you just let me be great? Can you just give me my moment and let me love Lamont without you trying to taint how I feel about him? You came over here just to be disruptive. We was having a good time talking about Lamont. Then you just gonna slick slide on up in the chat talking about it. Don't do that, sis. We ain't doing that. We having game night. Don't come over here doing that. Oh, she trying. I still love Lamont. Don't do that. Sharon say, if so, I hope he fed her first. Girl, right. Bridget J says, back in my whole days. Good, not the horror. You had some horror. That girl, I believe we all have had some days of horrorism. Sis Teresa says, sorry, sis, but Angela don't lie. He's a cheat. Don't do that. Right, CC, not Lamont. Don't come over here, Angela, doing this about Lamont. I have never heard any negativity about him. I ain't standing for this. Now you're going to have me going and researching and doing all of that. I refuse to allow this negativity in my life. And that's all it is, Angela. You being negative right now. I ain't believing this. I ain't believing it. Leave Lamont out of this. He didn't ask for this. Don't do him. Just over here just slowly breaking my heart. Oh my Jesus. I thought I had me a good one. And here come Angela. Sis, he a cheater. Go away from here, Angela. Oh, I couldn't even have me a good one. We almost made it. And here come Angela. Right, Teresa. Got me over here teary-eyed talking about Lamont is a cheater. Girl, I ain't never heard that about Lamont. Whew, child, we can't have nothing. It's always one that's gonna come just tear the house down. Then here come Angela. Oh, Angela. I can't believe she popped in here saying that. She talking about, yep, in Greenleaf, he cheated. Girl, if you don't go away from us with this, Angela, I don't care about what this man did on this TV show. She over here got my pressure raising up. I'm thinking this man cheating on his real wife. Oh, she over here got my pressure going up. Angela, you are so wrong. I can't believe you. Yes, Bridget J. That's who she's talking about. But his real name is Lamont Rucker. With his handsome self. And here come Angela talking about he cheated on his wife. Woo, girl, she was making my pressure go up. I ain't fooling with you, Angela. Oh, she was just breaking my little heart. Oh, Lord. Let's move on to our next question because Angela just got my pressure up over here. Oh, my heart just started beating fast when she said that. Look at Let's Be Clear talking about she looking up the nearest vet. let's be clear, stay away from Fat Tuesdays. Don't be over there trying to get into no Fat Tuesdays. Look at you, Lisa. You done started something. Lisa said somebody always got to come and bust your happy bubble. Gone on away from here with this mess, Apollo. Girl, yes. Girl, they don't want us to be happy. Somebody gonna always come and bust our little bubble. Look at Bridget talking about, I love that man. He did cheat. Gone on, Bridget. Now, don't you go to co-signing what Angela talking about. Gone on now. Let me change the question. Let me change the question because, see, now y'all trying to bring Lamont into all this confusion. And he is not the author of chaos. And we ain't finna do that. Look at Sharon talking about you about to watch all Greenleaf reruns. Girl, right. Don't do that. Or leave him out of this. Leave Lamont out of this mess. He is not into chaos, and we ain't doing it. I'm not bringing him into all this confusion that y'all trying to start. We ain't doing that. So we going on to our next question because we ain't doing this about Lamont. Our next question is, you start dating a new guy, but the gossip in town is that he used to be violent with his former girlfriend, but he denies it to you. Would you consider having a relationship with him? You started dating this new guy, but the gossip in town that he used to be violent with his former girlfriend, but to you, he is denying those allegations. Would you still consider having a relationship with him? Right, Teresa. Lamont is the star character tonight. No, and we ain't digging up no more dirt on Lamont. Keep Lamont out y'all mouth. We ain't talking about him. Go back to talking about Grady. We are Xing Lamont from the chat. Hey, Girlfriend Chronicles. She said I had to stop packing about my girl. You like him too, sis? They over here trying to drag Lamont in some mess. Lamont don't be in no mess. We refuse to let y'all pull our Lamont into some mess. He don't do that. He a good old wholesome man. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Keisha say nope. Anybody else? You start dating a new guy, but the gossip in town is that he's been violent with his former girlfriend. He's denying it to you. Would you still consider having a relationship with him? Let's Be Clear says, I'm going to investigate on my own and then ask. That actually happened to me. Yes, I agree. I'll definitely do my own investigation. Because how many men do we know will honestly be honest, will actually be honest with us and tell us if he's been involved in a violent relationship, to be truthful. But I'll definitely not just take the word of everybody else. But I do know if more than one person is saying it, there has to be some truth somewhere. But I would definitely, like you said, let's be clear, I would definitely do my own investigation. Bridget J says, no, ma'am. If he hit her, he'll hit me. I ain't taking no licks. I know that's right. And a lot of times we be so in love. They be so fine and handsome, may have a little money, and we just feel like obviously it was something she didn't do right for him to do that to her, and we just think automatically that he wouldn't do the same thing to us, and we end right on up in the same situation as if we're different. So I hear you. Teresa says the adult me would say no. The young gullible me might be dumb enough to say yes because I'm sure I can change him. Right. We always think we can change him. Or we always think that it had to be something that she did to make him do her that way. And not that that's just who he is. So I totally agree. Sharon says, I'll be very cautious, very cautious. Girlfriend Chronicle said, I wouldn't because I trust nothing he says if the red flags are still there. But what if we don't see the red flags? What if we haven't seen any red flags, but this information is solely coming from people, the gossip that's going around in town, but we haven't seen it. We haven't seen that side of him. This is just gossip that people have going on around town, but we haven't seen it. So At this point, we haven't seen any red flags of him being that way with us. It's just what we're hearing around town. Sometimes we want to see for ourselves. But it just depends, because a lot of times there are some exes who will try to, tell the new girlfriend about what happened, what type of person he was, but because of who we are, we'd be like, no, she just hating. She just don't want us to be together. I don't want to hear what she got to say. Right. I am blessed because Pam. He's a good man, Savannah. We think he a good man, and we don't want to listen to nothing nobody got to say. Go away from me with this negativity. Because how dare you try to come around here and act like my good man is doing all this bad stuff. Y'all just don't want us together. That's how we be thinking. Let's Be Clear says he blocked in self-defense with his arm. She fell and called the police. Okay, so she blocked her in self-defense with his arm. She fell and called the police. They both got taken into custody because he had scratch marks on his face and arms. Oh, okay. You know what? I've heard of a similar situation happening as well. There really are some women that be they attack first. I've seen that happen quite a few times. And they always, and I've also seen a woman that actually threatened to harm herself and call the police and say he did it. So, girl, we don't know what these people be thinking these days. It's crazy. Teresa says, thank you all for joining us tonight. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Thank you, divas. Yes, absolutely. Thank you all. This is fun. Lisa says, nope, I ain't taking no chances, and I'd believe the gossip. I agree, because I feel like if more than one person is saying it, there has to be some sort of truth to it. Everybody won't be saying the same thing. Everybody won't be saying the same thing. Let's Be Clear says he almost got put out the military. That's horrible. That's horrible. Well, I'm glad he didn't, because see just how quick a lie can mess up your whole livelihood, because there's nothing to play with. Especially when there are women out here that's actually dealing with stuff like that. And that's why it's so hard for the police to believe, women when they do come forward and, want to report on things like that, because there are so many instances to where, the women have been proven as liars. So it's sad. Hey, Tyra. Tyra says, got to hit the replay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look at Angela. Angela talking about, I'm sorry, Pink Diva. You got my whole heart worked up over here, Angela. She talking about she's sorry. Sharon says, this has been so refreshing. Enjoyed the laughter tonight, lady. Oh, thanks, sis. That was the plan. It's been so much heavy stuff going on around us, sis, and so much sickness and illness and so much grief and just so much going on. So I felt like I wanted us to have a light time, some good laughing fun, so that we can kind of forget about a lot of that. So I'm glad you all are enjoying it. Keisha says yes, because it's some sick women out here too. Absolutely. Let's Be Clear says, in this case, her friends were lying because she wanted him and he wanted to end things. Girl, what? The friend? That's crazy. That is crazy. I am blessed because Pam says, be very careful and proceed with caution. Absolutely. If anything, because a lot of times, because I do believe that people can change, right? So depending on like when this happened, did he have the opportunity to like rehabilitate himself? Like, did he go to therapy, anger management, or whatever the case may be? So depending on how soon that situation happened with her, the ex, and us getting together, because I do believe people can change. Sometimes I'll just say the whole Chris Brown situation with he and Rihanna. They were really young. she also played a role in it. She forgave and moved on, or what have you. And that's been years ago, but people still continue to bring that up about him. Not saying that he hadn't had other things going on in the media in regards to things that he's doing, but in regards to this, a lot of times I do feel like there are situations to where the offender can be rehabilitated, and that's a thing of their past. Um, I don't believe that once you have violent tendencies, you'll always be that type of person. So I do believe in second chances. I do believe if they have taken the steps necessary to get help, um, that they could be better and do better. But I would definitely, especially like I Am Blessed Pecan Pam was saying, I would definitely proceed with caution. And that would be an eye opener for me to make sure I am keeping my eyes open for red flags. Because the first sight of something, like if you yell, if you raise your hand, or whatever the case, you start calling me out of my name, those are typically the start of getting to a way more violent situation. So I definitely would pay attention. Definitely would. You know how that is. Teresa says Angela Lamont's name was in there for cheating. Girl, don't do it, Teresa. Stop entertaining that. Lisa says that service could be lucrative private practice today. So many ninjas out here lying about not being married. Oh my goodness, a lot of them. You hear me? A lot of them. Let's Be Clear says everybody telling you about Lamont and you still with. I'm staying with Lamont. Let's be clear. I am staying with my man, my man, my man. See, y'all just all this town gossip that's going on in the chat trying to get me to turn my back on my man. And I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Teresa says they won't let Chris move on. Didn't ASAP have an ABU's charge? Right. I don't know what it is. They just will not let that man move on for nothing. Anything he does, it's an issue. They won't let him move past it at all. They bring it up every time you turn around. But yet there are some out here that they still support. But you know how we are. Teresa talking about, let's be clear. See, she's not listening. She answered her own question. I ain't listening, Teresa. Not when it comes to my man, my man, my man. I ain't doing it. Y'all ain't gonna make me do it. I ain't doing it. Next question. Let me see. Let me see how many more. It's 8:09. We've been 1 hour, 37 seconds on the live. We're going to do probably a couple more. The next question. Do you think it's okay for a female to propose to the guy? Do you think that it's okay for a female to propose to the guy? Hey, Neva. Thanks for joining, Diva. How you doing? Do you think that it is okay for the female to propose to the guy? Okay, Girlfriend Chronicle said no. Let's Be Clear says no. Gia says no. Teresa says no. Sharon says no. Y'all ain't proposing to him? Girlfriend Chronicle said no. Girlfriend Chronicle said, I ain't proposing to no ninja. Okay, we got a yes. Neva says yes, I think it's fine. Okay, we got one yes. Keisha says yes. What's no? Who are you responding? Oh, typo. She said no. Lisa says no. We had one yes. Neva said yes. She think it's okay. I don't think because I feel like what Tyra say? Tyra says, y'all, my daddy listening. He said, hell no, she better not. I know that's right, Papa Tyra. We ain't proposing to no men. I don't think I would too, because I would feel like For one, I feel like if he wanted to marry me, he would ask me to marry me. Yeah, Neva, you out there by yourself, sis. Neva say I'm all by myself. You are, sis. You out there by yourself. I feel like if he wanted to marry me, he would ask me to marry him. Because he already know if he's in this thing for the long haul, if I'm what he's looking for in a wife. He knows those things already. So I feel like he should be the one to take the lead on it. I don't feel like I would feel like, let's say for instance, if I proposed to him, I feel like he would accept, maybe because we've gathered all of the people, the family around, and he just accepted because everybody was there. But then a little bit down the line, or after we've married, then things start happening in the relationship, and then he blurts out, well, I didn't want to get married anyway, I just said yes because you asked. Or you know what I'm saying? I feel like me asking him to marry me would be me pressuring him into marriage. And if he hasn't asked me, that means he ain't ready. And I don't want to force him into anything that he's not ready for, and then the marriage don't last. Lisa says most of the men getting proposed to are dusties anyway. Right, girl, I ain't asking him to marry me. I'm the prize. You're not the prize. I'm the prize. Girlfriend Chronicle says, if I ain't marriage material enough for him to do it, then it won't happen. I totally agree. Keisha says, I'll ask for a date, but marriage, no ma'am. I agree, sis. We ain't asking for no hands in marriage. And I got to go out and buy the ring. And child, I would be so embarrassed to even get to that point. So I'll pass. Teresa said, these young folks done changed the protocol. They really have. I wouldn't be surprised to see it today. Given the circumstances and the different types of, I don't know what's going on with these. I can't even necessarily say this generation, just people in general. Things that used to be of importance to us back in the day when we were coming up, it's just not of importance. It's almost like they're changing the rules to everything. So no, I just wouldn't. Let's be clear, says, right, Teresa, they changed the protocol. Women getting jobs, houses, cars, no proposing. I totally agree. We're basically the heads of the household. We have the higher education. We have basically the bigger of the income. We have the multiple jobs and businesses. We're taking care of the house and all of this kind of stuff. And they're doing the bare minimum. So definitely the protocol changed somewhere down the line. Girlfriend Chronicle says, just like Chrissy and Jim Jones, he never showed any respect to her after that. Girl, there was a whole hot mess. There was a whole hot mess for her to do that. I would have never let a man feel like I wanted him that bad to the point to where I would get down on my knee. And they're still not married, right? If I'm not mistaken, girlfriend, they're not married still, right? Girl, that was crazy. That was a bunch of foolishness. Absolutely not. I am blessed because Pam said, no, this is a problem. The woman is the prize. Absolutely. Tyra says, Pink Diva, my daddy says, surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise, Papa Tyra. Because baby, listen, Neva says, I feel today's women would ask. I feel like they would too. Because it's just, I don't know what changed. I don't know what switch somebody flipped on or whatever the case may be, but women of today just tend to be built different to me. They're doing a lot of things that I personally would not do, for sure. So yeah, it's a lot of, girl, who knows? Yes, Keisha, it is crazy. Teresa says the man at home babysitting and playing video. Absolutely. Talking about, I want to take you to court to get alimony and child support. Negro, if you don't get on somewhere and go to work and get a job, child, these men these days out here trying to live the soft life while we going to work, getting up, going to work every morning. The roles really feel like they are switching. Like they want to be living a soft life while we out making the money, and they keeping the kids. They home playing daddy daycare, and you at home with the kids, living in the basement. Ralph, girl, don't get me started. But exactly, sis. Neva says that was a mess. We all could see Jim didn't want to be married. He didn't. Look how long they had been together. You can't tell me he's been with this girl that long and don't see that he wants to marry her. That's crazy. Girlfriend says, no, they're not. That's horrible. All of those years that she's been with them. And Chrissy, I think, is such a beautiful woman. I've always thought that she was so beautiful. And I just really couldn't understand her connection or the need to be with the likes of a Jim Jones. I just never could see it. Keisha says it's an agenda. I agree. Neva said, didn't Tiffany ask Lou to marry her? Girl, she sure did, Neva. She sure did. Yes, Tiffany did make that announcement that she was the one. Wasn't it at a baseball game or something? Was it on his birthday or something? She said, but I do remember that she did propose to him. Girl, that's diabolical. No, ma'am. You can miss me with that. No, ma'am. You can miss me with that. But she sure did. Thanks for reminding us of that, Neva. Let's see. Let's do our last question. Let's do one more. Ooh, some of these we got to save for save for a Let Loose Lounge over by Sis, because they're a little juicy. They're a little juicy. Ooh, child. Ooh, okay, this is a good one. I love you back, Angela. Look, Angela, I love you, Pink Diva. I love you too, sis. Teresa says, Pink Table Topics, can you show the Instagram video I sent you of the flower man? You sent me an Instagram video, sis? Let me see. Let me see. Let me go pull up my Instagram. I ain't even been over there since earlier. Papa Tyra, look at Tyra saying, Daddy talking about what Let Loose Lounge is. Do they drink over there? Tell Papa Tyra that it goes down at Let Loose Lounge. It goes down at the Let Loose Lounge, Papa Tyra. Let me see, Teresa. It got music on it, Teresa. I may not be able to show it. I'll have to try to edit the music out and then I'll share it. It looked like he's being the flower instead of the flower girl. He's being the flower boy. Right, Teresa? Can't tell Papa Tyra we can't let him over there. We cannot let Papa Tyra over there. Right, Lisa? Tell him they cut up over there. They do. She say he's smiling, talking about I need to be there. No, sir. Not over there. Not over there. Tell Papa Tyra to close his ears. Now I'm having to skim through my questions because Tyra got Papa Tyra over there listening. He gonna think we bad. Look at Teresa. Tell Papa Tyra I'm a saint, but the rest of them, woo, no, she ain't. Let's see. Look at Tyra. Got me. She talking about he listening. See, you see me over here going through these cards. Can't you see, don't you? Because some of this stuff is not for Papa Tyra's ears. Ooh, we child. Y'all see me. I'm still going through these cards. That's how juicy these cards are. Okay, we may do that one. Mm-mm. Ooh, these are juicy. Okay, we're gonna ask this one because Tyra got Papa Tyra over there listening. And we as saints over here, Papa Tyra, we are good girls. Oh, we ain't doing all of that. Right. We cannot let him in. Okay, so our last question, we 1 hour 51 minutes in. So our last question. Your partner asks you in the beginning of the relationship to give him your social media passwords, quote unquote, just in case. He would give you his. Is this normal? Or do you think this is too controlling? How would you relate? Tyra says, Pink Diva, he said, tell that young lady with her pretty self, he might have answers to them questions. Papa Tyra. We ain't letting you play this game. So your partner asked you in the beginning of the relationship, y'all in the relationship, it's a new relationship, and he said he would give you his passwords, and he's asking you if you would give him the passwords to your social media accounts. Do you think this is too controlling? Or would you just brush it off and think it's normal? Would you give him the passwords to your social media? Okay, Mama V says too controlling. Anybody else? Would you give someone it's the beginning of a relationship and he asks you to give him your passwords to your social media accounts? Do you think this is normal or do you think it's too controlling? Okay, Keisha says I'm 50-50 with that. Explain, Keisha. Keisha says she 50-50. Teresa says no, and it's not normal. Let's Be Clear says negative. No joint, nothing until my name is said, baby. Papa Tyra said he won't control. Thank you for participating, Papa Tyra. Right, he wants control. Lisa says absolutely not. I'm not giving out any password. He has view only like everyone else. Too controlling. I totally agree. I would not give no ma'am. No, I don't even have my husband's passwords to his social media accounts. I feel like if you asking me for my social media account, I feel like there's a lack of trust there. I don't see the need of why you would need to have my social media accounts. So that would be the passwords to my social media account. So that would be a no for me. And I do feel like that is controlling because I feel like he may go in there and change my see, I dealt with a sociopath before, and I feel like he would go in there and change my passwords to my account, and I wouldn't even have access, and he'll be on there going down my friends list and messaging DMing people, making them think it was me just to see if we had something going on. So it's a hard no for me. Neva says, no, I am not giving passwords. I know that's right. Teresa says there is absolutely no need. Right. Bridget J says too much control. Gia says no. I totally agree. Teresa says exactly. He'll block you out. He'll block friends and all. Absolutely. And I feel like why would that even be on the table? Why would you even fix your mouth to? And that's a turnoff. I'll probably end the relationship. In the relationship over a password, because don't ask me for my passwords. Right, Keisha. Keisha says if we're building trust and longevity, I wouldn't give him my password, and I would probably only give him limited view of my social media accounts. You barely gonna see what's on there, because the thing about it is I don't feel like you should be all up in my business like that, to feel like, because my ex was that way. He went through my whole social media, like Facebook friends list. He was messaging like my high school classmates, and they were messaging me like, hey, um I just wanted to let you know, like, your ex had messaged me. Like, he was befriending all of the people on my social media. Like, these are people, like, you don't even know these people. Why are you sending them friend requests? Like, it's super weird to me. So it would be a hard no. And I probably would break up with him. I'll probably break up with him, child. Teresa says, matter of fact, he ain't getting nothing on the first date. Girl, it's gonna be some years in. You barely gonna be able to see he'll probably be blocked from my social media for the first few months until I see how far we go. He'll probably be blocked, let alone talking about passwords. Girl. Lisa says, yep, my ex was a sociopath and I learned the hard way to protect my boundaries. Girl, you and me both. You hear me? You and me both. Like, absolutely not. You're not getting all of that access too soon. There's no way that why would you need my passwords though? That's like real weird to me, for you to want I don't even want your password. And that's the thing that I learned too, like through the years. I don't ask you for nothing I don't want you to ask me for. I don't do anything that I wouldn't want you to do to me. So asking for passwords is a hard no. Yes, I am blessed because Pam says, no, ma'am, too controlling and trust is important to me. I know that's right, Lisa. Access denied. You are not getting no passwords over here. Absolutely not. So no. It's a hard no for me. I feel like you want to be too much in my personal space. I feel like you want to go through my friends list and have control over who I'm talking to, or who's talking to me and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a hard child. It's a trigger for me. That about took me to a place. So no, ma'am. Reen Bass says never. Absolutely, sis. It's a no-go for me. It's a no-go for me. I would never do that. It's a no for me. I feel like if you got to have access to all of that, you don't trust me. And if you don't trust me, we don't need to be together. But having my passwords, accounts is weird. You barely gonna be on there. You're gonna have limited view. You may be able to see anything that I post. You won't be able to see anybody that comment under it. You won't be able to see anybody that tag me. You won't be able to see nothing. My friends list would be blocked. You probably wouldn't even be on my social media account. You probably wouldn't even be, let alone talking about passwords. Girl, that's a mess. Did y'all have fun? We are 1 hour, 58 minutes in there. We are 2 hours long. This went by fast. Did you all have fun and enjoy our little girls' night? I still have so many more questions in this box. I'm going to make sure I take a picture of it so that I can post it on the community wall so y'all can get it, so y'all can play it. It is so much fun. So much fun. Tyra says, Daddy said, can he have your password? I said, no, Daddy. She's married. He said, me too. Not Papa Tyra. He is over there cutting up. Tyra, it is Papa Tyra bedtime, child. It's 8:30. At least Central Standard Time. Teresa said this was super fun. Glad you enjoyed it, sis. Let's Speak Clear said, yes, that was fun. Reen says, great laugh. Teresa says we need to do it on Patreon for real, because there's some juicy questions in here. And they would have to be behind the wall, child. YouTube would shut us down with some of these questions. But it's fun. It's a really, really good girlfriend game. Really, really good girlfriend game. It's for 18 and older, but it's super fun. Super fun. We went through this whole box. We was just sitting, me and my girlfriends, we were just sitting here. I hosted a girls' night. We had some drinks, some good food, and we sat here and went through this whole box, and it was so fun. So much fun. So the rules to the game is, so when you're hosting a girls' night, because it's a girls' night game, so the rules from the game is you have to answer every question. And if you prefer not to answer every question or the question that's being asked, you have to keep the card of the question you did not answer. And so whoever has the most cards of the most unanswered questions by the end of the night, you have to host the next girls' night. So that's what it's about. So it's a super fun game. But the thing is, we answered all the questions, child. We didn't hold nothing back. We answered all of the questions. It's super fun and a good way to kind of find out a little bit more about each other, and know what you like and don't like. So it was fun. Um, Papa Tyra says, thank you all for the prayers. Now he's going to get some rest. Good night, Papa Tyra. And yes, we are still praying, definitely praying for you. And thank you, Papa Tyra, for joining us. We appreciate you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you all that pulled up to the table tonight for our girls' night. I will have some participation awards for you all, like Teresa said. I enjoyed you all for dropping down in the chat and participating in the conversation. It was fun. It was all love. It was light. It was very light. We had an amazing time. Still sending up prayers to Debbie, to Danya, Papa Tyra, every one of you. Let's be clear, still praying for you, sis. To every one of you that are dealing with any types of sickness, illnesses, grief, or whatever the case may be, or just having a hard time, period. Prayers up to each and every one of you. We love you. Definitely still praying for you all. Shout out to the replay gang that'll be coming in a little later. On your way in, please make sure you hit the like button for us. Drop down, leave a comment, answer the questions that we had during the game, whatever the case may be. Share the video, invite your friends, your girlfriends over here. And thank you so much for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We really, really do. It was fun. I can't wait to our next one. So next week, we're going to get back to our topics. So our topic for next week is a very interesting topic. Tell you just a little bit about what it is going to be. We're going to be talking about splitting the bill. Have you ever gone out on like a girls' night with your girls or a group dinner? And then, everybody order the food they want to order. And then as soon as the bill come, everybody starts saying, let's split the bill. But you ordered a salad and they ordered lobster and steak and drinks and all of this kind of stuff. We're going to talk about that because that just happened. And my girlfriends and I were talking about that. So I think that would be a great conversation. We're going to talk about splitting the bill. So join us right here next week, Tuesday, which will be June 3rd. Didn't this month go fast? It seemed like the month of May just came and is leaving already. So next week, Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Pink Table Topics. We will be right here June 3rd. So again, thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. It was fun. It was light. I love each and every one of you. And thank you so much for being here. Until next time, have a good night. And if you can't have a good night, don't you dare go messing up anybody else's. Have a good night.